point is it is not adhering the same way. So the bond between Auto-Triz and other ceramic coatings that are out there is, from the research that I've done and that I've seen and that has been presented to me, is the best that is out there. So I feel that factor right there is a pretty compelling factor to go with Auto-Triz. We'll do a whole new video on this particular aspect of it, but let it suffice for now that there is a chemical difference between the two products, and that gives I believe a big advantage to Auto-Triz.
Okay, great. And those are some of the products that you use to do paint, ceramic coating on the paint of the cars and vehicles that you use. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Now, what does hardness mean, and why is hardness important?
Well, hardness is like the same kind of rating that they use on diamonds. Okay. Gold can be scratched really easy. Diamond will do all the scratching because it's hard. So the hardness is a reflection of the sealing properties of ceramic over the paint. And by the way, ceramic can be applied to glass, it can be applied to vinyl, it can be applied to leather, wheels. I've done calipers, I've done mags, I've done, well, everything. And so the hardness is important because it helps seal it. But not only that, it's more difficult to scratch through washing something that is really hard than something that is really soft. Right. So, you know, if I have, to give an extreme example, if I have a nice little box filled with sand and that sand is perfectly smooth and I gently rub my hands over it, you're going to see those marks. Yeah. If I have a piece of glass in that same square there and I take my hand across it, not likely to see those marks. Well, that's what the hardness is, because the difference between the sand, which was so soft, versus the glass, which was so much harder. If you can get your paint up to a 9H, your ability to prevent swirl marks and wash marks, love marks, brush marks, particularly the brushes we use to brush the snow off, those scratch vehicles. Yeah. You're going to do a great job at eliminate that. And you know, a Tesla has very soft paint. You buy a black Tesla and wash it once, you're going to probably be a little bit frustrated because that beautiful vehicle now has some marks on it, even though you've done a good job of washing it correct. So you put a good solid ceramic on it and you let it cure properly, that soft paint is going to become a hard paint, and like a Mercedes or a BMW or a Volkswagen, it's going to stand up far, far greater, and it's going to be protected from road, salt, things like that.
Just everyday driving. Okay, now how is the ceramic applied, and what's required to apply this stuff?
The ceramic is applied by hand, and it's in a 2x2 section, or smaller. And Auto-Triz is applied first and is allowed to get just a flash a little bit, get a little bit tacky, if you will. And then again, it's self-leveling. So when we wipe it off, first of all, we do it gentle, and we should feel a slight friction when we're taking our cloth and wiping it down, and then it's slowly buffed. And it's actually not that difficult to apply, although you don't want to be overlapping paint protection film and paint ceramic film because it'll leave a mark. Like you'll see the line or the difference in there. And you want to go in a manner that is very methodical and consistent, so that you're not missing sections, because it will show up. And it has to be buffed off once it's reached that point where it needs to be buffed. It needs to be buffed correctly, otherwise you'll get a dark spot afterwards. You need good lighting, really good lighting, and you need to see it from all different angles. If you just assume that, well, I've put this area, I've taken my cloth and I've wiped it, now I've got it, I'm going to say you've missed something. That's just the way it is. It requires being very diligent and looking at it. And that is across the board with all of the ceramics when they're applied. The difference between Auto-Triz and other ceramics that are out there, Auto-Triz doesn't require these big lights, heating lamps to go around it to cure it. The chemical composition of the ceramic with Auto-Triz will actually be hard enough that you can drive it and have water and things get on it within in about an hour.
Wow.
Whereas with other ceramics, you need a day.
Oh, okay.
Like this is a very different than other products.
So speaking of that, how long does it take to do this, applying ceramic?
To apply the ceramic, if all the prep work is done, just applying the ceramic, it would take about 6 hours.
Wow.
The prep work could take a couple days, because the one thing about ceramic that we really should note is if you have a blemish on the vehicle, a scratch, swirl marks, and you don't remove those, the ceramic will enhance it, and you'll see it even better than you did before.
Okay.
So whenever ceramic is being applied, even for a brand new vehicle straight from the manufacturer, you picked up that brand new baby from the dealership because you pre-ordered it because they no longer have cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to have scratches on it.
Okay.
It's amazing how banged up vehicles are straight from the showroom. They need a lot of love and attention. So you got to remove those things first and then apply it afterwards. Apply the ceramic after that. So prep work is the most labor intensive and time consuming part of applying ceramic.
Wow. So it takes quite a while to get this all done for your vehicle.
And that's, I should mention, for the Auto-Triz it takes that long. For the other ceramics that are out there that require the curing and they don't have the self-leveling, it would take twice that long.
Wow. That is a long time to be without your vehicle.
Well, yeah, if you're doing ceramic, you should plan to have a few days dedicated to it. It's a significant investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not spending $100 here. You're spending probably a couple thousand, maybe $3,000. It's not something that you do on a regular basis. And I should also indicate too that the warranty or the length of time that it lasts is 7 to 10 years. For the high-end stuff. So you do this once and that's it. And that, again, that comes down to the hardness. If you've got a 9H type of ceramic, I don't care what brand it is, it's going to last 7 to 10 years. If you have a one that is far less than that, it's only going to last, well, anywhere from a year to maybe 18 months, 2 years. So it matters.
So a lot to take in there with ceramic coatings. Something that, if you're going to, say you have a brand new car or something that you want to protect and keep for a long time, right? Remember, it comes down to, your need and desire and what your actual, your vehicle is. Like, you're not going to, take soccer mom minivan and do ceramic coating necessarily, unless maybe it's a Porsche Cayenne or, maybe a Lamborghini Urus or something like that. That's a different story, but for your average sedan, maybe not. Depends on what your needs are, what your desire, and how much you love that vehicle, right? So best thing to do is to talk to Gary, call up God's Detail, and get an estimate, get an idea of what your vehicle needs, what your wants are, what your desire and budget and all that is. And Gary can come up with a plan to make your vehicle shine, and perhaps it's a series of different visits. Maybe it's every quarter you come and see Gary, and then once a year you do a deep, thorough clean on the vehicle, and the rest of the time is just maintenance stuff, so that it's, more consistent, so that you're not having to pay, $2,000 every time you take your vehicle in to see Gary. It can be a few $100, and then once a year you do a nice deep clean. I don't know what that is, but definitely call God's Detail, and Gary will be able to help you out with all of your car detailing needs in Edmonton. All right.
I should also mention too that you mentioned the soccer mom with the minivan. A lot of times people are busy and they don't have time to do a lot of cleaning and stuff, but they want it to look half decent. That ceramic would be something that would help them out in the long run. Usually, people who have nice cars like the Cayenne, it's a nice car, a Tesla, you put a lot of money into those vehicles. You want to protect them, but what's a minivan worth brand new? $30,000, $40,000. Sometimes it's worth it to put a few extra $1,000s into that as well. And you'd be amazed at the everyday drivers, because as we have right here in our current weather, we've got mud and salt and grime and just going up all over the place.
Nice.
It's so nice and gratifying to go to a car wash if you're just doing yourself, and you put the pressure washer on it, and it rinses off, as opposed to how do I get this thing clean. It's something to just think about, because convenience drives a lot of us.
Yeah.
And so you ask the questions, and again, figure out what your budget is, figure out what your desire, figure out what your need and your time is, because this quite potentially could be a good solution. I would also add too that you may just want parts of your vehicle ceramic, like the wheels or the glass. How often have you, in the summertime, you've had the bugs and things hit it, and it's such a pain to clean the bugs off a windshield. With ceramic, that comes off way easier.
Nice.
And it keeps the water beating, so driving in storms, rainstorms and things like that, your glass is going to be a lot nicer. So as you had already said, come and ask us. We'll give you the details that matter.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Thank you.